So this is the senior scam prevention presentation. I'm just going to present some information to everybody here. It's really good info. It'll be presented over the next 30 minutes or so. I've done this a few times before. I've got some specific cases to Fridley woven in here, along with some various videos. I am the lead detective, not the lead detective. Some people get that wrong. It's not lead. This is a growing problem. One of the things that I do on a daily basis is I come in before all the rest of the detective unit gets here in the morning, and I read through every single report that's generated. Therefore, I read every single report for every single year. And what I'm seeing is a lot of reports for senior scams, for frauds that are being generated. And as you can see here, in 2021, now this is not Fridley specific, but this is nationwide, 2.9 million fraud reports were made, 6.1 billion in loss, okay? In 2022, it gets worse. There's only 2.4 million fraud reports that were made, which is down, but then we've got 8.8 billion in loss. That's billion with a B. So we're gonna continue to see these numbers go up until we educate everybody and we start solving some of these problems. Just a quick show of hands: how many people in this room have been victims of scams or believed to be victims of scams? Few? Okay. Yeah, it's not uncommon. I'll even raise my hand too. And this is not just senior specific. We see this across all sorts of age groups. Seniors, yes, but young adults, even our teenagers are victims of scams. And I'll let you in on how I became a victim of a scam. Several years ago, I was in Las Vegas with my wife and some of our friends. And usually we're pretty prepared when we go to Las Vegas. We go there often. And we always know what shows are playing, when they're playing, where they're playing. This particular time, we weren't prepared. And we're sitting by the pool, and we started throwing out ideas of what to do that particular evening. And my wife starts getting on her phone and going through the options, and we see that there's a big music festival down at the T-Mobile Arena, which was brand new at the time. And that's where the hockey team now plays. And I think that they had only had maybe 1 or 2 functions in that building. And this becomes important a little later. So we were interested in getting tickets to this music festival, and went through some of the ads, and we got a hold of this one gentleman who said that he had multiple tickets for sale. We called him, expressed our interest, and he said to us, yeah, I've got some tickets here. I've got 2 specifically in a row. And I said, oh, it's too bad. We need 4. He's like, oh, wait a second. Oh yeah, I got 4. Okay. And then, now that should have been a red flag to me. And we're gonna go over all these things. Red flags are prevalent through everything that I'm going to talk about. You just have to learn how to see them and recognize them. But that was red flag number 1. And we said, okay, well, yeah, we need 4. He's like, great, I got 4, my last 4 in the row. Okay, do some negotiation with the prices. He said they're going to be, I think it was a couple $100 per ticket, which we thought was about right. We said, okay, can you just email those to us, or can you scan them to us? And he said, I don't have the ability to do that. And again, that's another red flag, especially now. Maybe not back in the 80s. You needed a paper ticket. You don't have paper tickets now, or very seldom do you. And he's like, I can't do that. What I can do is send a guy that works for me down to your hotel. And what he will do is he has the ability then to print them out at the hotel and physically give them to you. I said, well, that's kind of weird too. Like, you don't have a printer? Like, you're a ticket broker and you don't have a printer and you don't have the ability to get me my tickets. But again, I didn't pick up on the red flag. So an hour goes by, get a phone call. It's the ticket broker's friend or associate, and he says, "Yep, I'm here. You can come down to the lobby. I got those tickets printed off for you." We get down there, and we look at the tickets, and it was seat 1, 2, 3, and like 9. They weren't in a row like he had promised. We brought that up to him, and he said, "Oh, yeah, there was an error here. Let me go print out the right ticket." Okay. Again, another red flag. I disregarded it. He goes back to the printer, prints out tickets 1, 2, 3, and 4. Hands us our tickets. We give him payment. We go to the venue. And as I told you, the venue's brand new. It's only been open a couple of months. Only a couple of things had been done in the venue. So this is a very new venue. The workers there are new. The procedures are brand new. They're still trying to work out the kinks. We walk up there with our paper tickets, and people in front of us get scanned. They go through. We walk up, and they're having problems scanning our tickets. That's really weird. And she says to us, the ticket scanner says, "We're still working out the kinks in the system. Go on through." Okay. So we got lucky. We got in there. We found our seats. Nobody's sitting in them. We sit down. Started enjoying the show. About 20 minutes in, 4 other people come in, and they say, "Excuse me, I think you're in our seats." I said, "That's not possible. We have our tickets right here." Oh, boy. They show us our tickets. They have the exact same seat numbers that we do, in the exact same row, in the exact same section. And they said, "Well, ours have to be legit because we purchased them from the box office." Of course. So we got scammed. Now, luckily, the venue wasn't quite full. There were empty seats in our section. We ended up sitting in the empty seats watching the show, having a good time. But if that section had been full, we would have been ejected from the venue. So again, there's lots of red flags throughout the story. Red flags that I'm embarrassed that I didn't see at the time until it was too late. But we have to learn how to pick these things out and identify them. And once we're able to do that, that's good for us because we're not going to be victims of these scams anymore. Once we're able to do that, there's many types of scams. I'm going to talk about maybe 10 or 12 of them. These are the most common. First one, I'm sure you've all heard of. It's the online romance scam. Scammers will build a romantic or platonic relationship with you and then ask you for money. Scammers might create a complete social media profile, send you photos and videos of themselves, and have sophisticated backstories for their fake identities. This may be a prolonged con, with scammers taking weeks or several months building the relationship before asking you for money. While dating sites are a common starting point, some scammers will approach you on social media as well. This is a big one. Estimated $1.3 billion was lost to romance scams in 2021 alone. Median losses for victims who are over 70, which are many of you in this room, were $9,000 compared to just $750 for those ages 18 to 29. This is an actual Fridley Police Department report, one that I investigated. FPD officers took a scam report from a 61-year-old Fridley resident who stated that she had met her boyfriend online September 2017. Boyfriend purported to be an overseas oil rig worker, and the female had never met this person in person and only spoken to him a few times over the phone. Boyfriend had a heavy accent. Okay, that's going to be a red flag for us. And over a 16-month time frame, female victim sent approximately $300,000 in cash to the boyfriend at his request. Okay. I actually investigated this one. And I'll be honest with you, there's not much that local law enforcement can do in something like this. The scammers are predominantly based overseas. Not always, but a lot of the time. And when I said it's a red flag for the heavy accent, that's what we see. That's a lot of the data that we're seeing is the scammers will call. They do have a heavy accent. Why? Because English isn't their first language, right? So you're going to get that a lot. Whenever you see that, or you get literature, whether it's text messages, emails, letters, they'll be strangely written. Punctuations will be off. There'll be misspellings. Words won't be used correctly. Again, that's another red flag. Okay. Grandparent scam. This is an oldie but a goodie. Scammers will reach out to you and pretend to be their grandchild. Scammers will often make up distressful situations such as being arrested and ask for financial assistance. They will usually ask for money immediately and use time as a weapon against you. Okay, we need to do this really quick. I need to get out of here. You need to send money right now. If you don't send money by the end of the day, I'm going to be in here for days, weeks, months, years, whatever it's going to be. Often they will request money transfer or gift cards as payment. Again, another red flag. To avoid raising suspicion from other family members, the scammer will ask you to keep everything a secret. Why? Because they know that you're going to tell somebody, a friend, family member, and they're going to say, hey, this is a scam, don't do it. Okay. All these are red flags. This is another very popular one. Scammers will purport to be a local, state, or federal law enforcement agent. They may even tell you that they are an officer from the very city in which you live. This has actually happened to us before. Residents of Fridley have gotten calls from scammers, and they do their homework before they call. They will say that this is Detective Mueller of the Fridley Police Department. We've had that happen. Detective Mueller is a detective in the Fridley Police Department. They do that because they think if you guys are smart enough to look up Detective Mueller at the Fridley Police Department and he actually exists, you're going to be more apt to hand over your money, right? They will often tell you that there is a warrant on file for your arrest, okay, and will tell you that you need to pay them immediately or you will be arrested. Again, they're using time here against you, all right? There's all sorts of stuff that's wrong with this one. Law enforcement will not contact you via phone and tell you that you have a warrant. We don't do that. If we're going to try to get you in custody, we're going to come directly to your home, okay? Again, strange payments. Ask for payment in Bitcoin, money transfer, gift cards. Law enforcement will not do that, nor will they ask you for payment of any kind. Here's another actual Fridley Police Department report. FPD officers took a report from an 84-year-old Fridley resident who stated that he received a telephone call from Officer Hansen with the Minneapolis 10th District. First of all, Minneapolis doesn't have 10 districts, okay? They only have, well, they're supposed to have 5 precincts, but we won't go into that. Advised that victim's grandson had gotten into trouble and needed $2,000 to bail out of jail. Officer Hansen told the victim to go to the local Walmart and purchase gift cards. The victim provided the gift card numbers to the suspect over the telephone. So again, a lot of the same type of stuff that you'll see in the grandparent scam, police officer scam, and the next one that I'm going to show you here, the IRS tax scam. Often done via phone. Often, you got to do this right now. We got to get this taken care of. This is how much I need, and it's an exorbitant amount of money, and it's never a check. It's always weird type of payments like gift cards, Bitcoin, all that stuff. Very similar to the police officer scam. The scammer will purport to be an IRS agent and tell you that you owe hundreds or thousands of dollars in back taxes. Again, they will tell you that in order to avoid a warrant for your arrest, payment must be made immediately. They will ask for payment, again, in Bitcoin, money transfer, gift cards. Just like law enforcement, IRS does not call you directly over the phone and tell you that you're in the rears. They don't ask for payment in Bitcoin, money transfer, and gift cards. All of this seems really, really obvious when I sit up here and say it to you. And you're probably sitting there saying, yeah, this does seem really, really obvious. But we have people every single year, many people that, that will hand over all sorts of money on these types of scams. Tech support scam. Tech support scams often start with a pop-up or online advertisement warning you that your device is infected or vulnerable. You may be prompted to install an update or new software, which turns out to be malicious software that can take over your device or steal your information. You might be prompted to call tech support for help. Tech support person could trick you into giving them control of your computer, and they may tell you that you need to pay for additional protection, support, or an upgrade. Another Fridley Police Department police report. FPD officers took a scam report from an 88-year-old Fridley resident stating that she was on her computer when a message flashed on her screen that her computer had been frozen, and provided a phone number to call to unlock the device. Upon calling the number, a male with an Indian accent, again, that's going to be a red flag for us, told the victim that she could pay a lifetime service fee of $4,500. You can buy like 9 computers for that, right? That's another red flag. That's too much. The victim balked at the price, so the male reduced the fee to $2,499. The victim agreed to pay that amount, provided her name, date of birth, social security number, and bank account information. All those are no-nos. Luckily, the victim became aware that something was amiss and notified her bank, which stopped payment immediately. Again, $4,500 is a ridiculous amount, even if this were legitimate. When you take everything in the totality, yeah, it's just one other thing to check off on the list. If this were, say, a service fee of $120, and he had an Indian accent, no, maybe not. But when you take into consideration that we've got a caller with an Indian accent, we've got an exorbitant fee here, total $4,500, and then that's too much for me. Hey, this one-time fee, I'll sell it to you for $2,499. All those are going to be red flags. When you have multiple red flags like that, just hang up. I didn't know what to put on here for sweepstakes, so I put a broom, which is supposed to be sweeping, and then a stake. So that's how I got that. If anybody else has any other ideas, let me know. So you might get a call, email, text, or letter telling you you've won a prize or can enter into a sweepstake. The scammers will often tell you that you need to pay upfront, perhaps to buy a sweepstakes ticket or to cover a processing fee. If initial payment is made, requests for additional payments are usually requested. Scammers may also ask for your personal information, which they can then steal or use for nefarious activities. Once again, they will use time as a weapon and will ask for payment in Bitcoin, money transfer, and gift cards. This is a popular one. We see it a lot. You can't win a sweepstakes that you don't enter, right? And again, it seems so obvious when I say it, but people want to believe that they're a winner, right? They want to believe that they just won millions of dollars in a sweepstakes or a lottery that they never even entered. It just doesn't happen. Slow everything down. That's a good point. Take your time. I even, a couple of weeks ago, I called somebody who was a victim in a report I had to follow up on. And I needed to get some more specific information. And I called him up. And I'm on the phone all day long with my victims, with witnesses. I call this person up. And I say, yep, hi, Detective Volk, Fridley Police Department. I'm calling you in reference to the police report that you made a couple of days ago. I need some more information and some more details. And she says, yeah, absolutely. And I said, I think it was a financial transaction card fraud. And I said, I need the number of the card that was used so I can give that to the retailer so they can find the video that I need to review. I said, well, how do I know that you're not a scammer? Well, I guess you don't. I said, well, why don't you do this? I'm going to hang up with you. Call the Fridley Police Department main line, which you can find online. I won't even give it to you. And then ask for me specifically, and then you'll know that I'm a legitimate person at the Fridley Police Department. And I was, doing an eye roll when I was talking to her. I can't believe she's going to make me do this. But honestly, I applaud her. She was very diligent. She did her homework. She's like, I'm going to give out some sensitive information. It's financial information to a guy who just called me on the phone who says he's a police officer. How does she know? She doesn't know, right? So good for her.
Yeah, what she said about like calling the company, looking it up and then calling that number rather than using their number, but it's really good.
Absolutely. Yeah, all this stuff can be found online. Any business that calls you and purports themselves to be a representative of that business, yeah, just say, hey, now's not a good time. Let me give you a call back in 5 minutes. Go online, jump online, get a couple of phone numbers. Another thing that you will see is a charity scam. Scammers will persuade victims to send money to fake charities. They might pressure you to act quickly, again, and sometimes use a current event as a reason for why you need to send money right now, right? Hurricane victims, they need that money right now. They need your help right now. We don't have enough. Before giving money away, you can research charities on sites like Charity Navigator, Charity Watch. If you want to donate to a specific charity, visit the official website or call the organization directly. Okay. I've gotten calls from police agencies, State Patrol. I won't give them money, at least in that phone call, because I don't know who I'm talking to. If I want to give the State Patrol money, I'll call the State Patrol directly and give them money. Same type of thing. Phone scam. Scammers will initiate robocalls that offer free medical supplements, devices, or discounts, or tell you that your vehicle warranty is about to expire and needs to be renewed. I get about 5 of those a day on my work phone. If you respond, you may be tricked or pressured into sharing your address, personal information, credit card account number, or other sensitive financial or medical information. Scammers can use these stolen credentials to commit credit card fraud, wire fraud, or other nefarious activities. Home repair scam. This is another popular one. We see this a lot. Older adults may be more likely to own homes and to be at home throughout the day, and scammers will knock on your door or make calls to offer home repair services. You might also be targeted if you live somewhere that was recently hit by a natural disaster. A scammer might be selling home improvements such as energy-efficient upgrades or solar panels that could save you money over time. After accepting an initial deposit, the scammer may disappear or do subpar or incomplete work. You'll never see them again. Medicare scam. Scammers will call Medicare beneficiaries by claiming to be a Medicare representative and ask for personal and medical information. The scammer might tell you that you need a new Medicare card or offer you discounted additional coverage, but they'll then use or sell your information for identity theft or medical identity theft. Employment or money mule scams. Scammers will contact you with promises of easy work from home jobs and be told all you need to do is pay for training. You'll pay, but you won't receive any training, and there isn't a real job available. Criminals will also look to recruit money mules through various job ads. As a money mule, you'll be asked to deposit funds into your bank account and then transfer money into someone else's. It may be legitimate in the sense that you'll be paid for the work, but in reality, though, you may be laundering criminals' funds, and you could be personally liable, even if you aren't aware that you're doing anything illegal. We see this a lot, too. This is, we typically see with younger adults or juveniles. this is going on online for a while, social media platforms, and it seems so obvious when I say it, but what kind of job will want you to? They're going to give you money. You're going to deposit that money into your account, and then you're going to then transfer the money from your account to an account that you don't know. It doesn't belong to you. It doesn't belong to a friend or family member. It doesn't make any sense. I've never been asked to do anything like that. Again, this is all red flag stuff. Speaking of red flags, these are just some of the highlights here. If something seems too good to be true, it is. Always it is. I know you don't want it to be. Me either sometimes. But you didn't just win the lottery, unfortunately, okay? Be wary whenever time is used as a weapon or when legal action is being mentioned. Again, you need to do everything right now. You need to do this right now. We got to get this done within the hour. Otherwise, there's going to be a warrant for your arrest. You could be arrested. Again, slow everything down. If you were really owing a few $1,000s in back taxes, they've known about it for months, if not years. They can wait another few hours while you do your research. Be suspicious whenever you need to supply payment for something that you've won or that you've been told is free. Nothing is free. You'll often see this when companies say that you've won something and then, oh, we need a processing fee. We need you to pay, or you've just won a sweepstakes or a lottery. Your payment is $1.5 million. Oh, but by the way, we've got this processing fee. We just need you to pay $25,000 in order to get the 1.5. Doesn't make any sense, right? Avoid strange payment requests such as wire transfers, money orders, cryptocurrency, and gift cards. Most legitimate businesses will not ask you for payment this way. I don't think any of them will. Police departments, any government agency, they are not going to ask you to go down to Walmart and get $2,000 worth of gift cards and then give me a call back and read off those gift card numbers to me. It's not how it works. Scammers are oftentimes based overseas. English is not their primary language. Okay, we talked about that. Emails, text messages are poorly written with bad punctuation or a plethora of misspellings. Heavy accents are usually present during these phone calls as well. Ask for help. Don't be afraid to ask for help. I told you that earlier. I go through all these reports every day, and there's literally hundreds of scam reports that we get in Fridley every year. And I think that's just the tip of the iceberg. I think it's much, much more than that. I think people are angry when they do get scammed. They're embarrassed, and they don't want to report it. They don't want to report it to law enforcement. They don't want other family members to know that they've done it. But ask for help. If you think that you are targeted or have been targeted or something like that, call your local police department. If you think that someone is trying to scam you or is actively scamming you. If applicable, contact the Federal Bureau of Investigations. Contact the AARP Fraud Watch Network, 877-908-3360. You can also contact the Minnesota State Attorney General's Office. Number is included. You can also contact the Better Business Bureau. Notify your bank and all financial institutions. Change your account numbers, passwords, etc. You can also set up fraud alerts with the 3 credit reporting agencies. And contact the Federal Trade Commission, www.identitytheft.gov. I need you guys to do a favor for me. We've got a pretty good turnout here today. We're not full, but pass this information on to your friends, okay, family members, neighbors, and just the more we get that information out there, the less likely we're going to be taking police reports.